The Aeneid by Virgil, translated by Alan Mandelbaum. Book 10. Meanwhile the palace of Olympus opens. The father of the gods and king of men within his house of stars has called a council. There, high upon his throne, he watches all the lands, the Dardan camps, the Latin peoples. The gods take up their seats within a hall flanked east and west by portals. Jove begins. Great sons of heaven, why this shift in plan, this bickering with such belligerence? I ordered Italy to leave the Trojans untouched. Why quarrel, then, against my will? What fear persuaded one side or the other to take the way of war, provoke the sword? The fitting time for battle will yet come, and soon enough without your hurrying, when savage Carthage will unleash its hate and ruin on the towers of Rome, unlock the Alps against them. Then it will be right to rage and fight and ravage everything. Now it is time to stop, to give your glad assent to what I want, a league of peace. So Jupiter in few words, but a few are not enough when golden Venus answers. O Father, O eternal King of men and things, what higher force can I beseech? You see how arrogant are these Rutulians, how Turnus, with his handsome horses, rides across the ranks, how, puffed with pride, he charges, the favourite of Mars. Even their barred ramparts are not enough to shield the Trojans. They fight within the gates, along the bulwarks and walls. They flood the trenches with their blood. Aeneas is away, and does not know. And will you never let the Teucrians be free from siege? Again the walls of Troy, new-born, are menaced by an enemy. Another army, and again a son of Tydeus marches out against them from Aetolian Arpi. And I think more wounds are still to come to me. I, your own daughter, must still await the weapon of a mortal. For if the Trojans have reached Italy without your leave, against your will, then let them suffer for their crime. Do not bring help. But if they followed oracles of high ones, of gods above and gods below, then why can anyone annul what you command, or make new fates for them? Must I recall their galleys burned along the coast of Eryx, or raging winds the king of tempests wakened out of Aeolia, or the descent of Iris from the clouds? Now Juno even stirs up the shades. No one before disturbed that region of the world, and suddenly Alecto is set loose on upper earth, raving throughout the towns of Italy. I do not care at all for empire, though such was my hope when fortune favored. Now let those be victors whom you choose to be. And if there is no country your cruel wife will let the Trojans have, then, Father, I beseech you by the smoking remnants of my fallen Troy, to let me send away Ascanius, unharmed from battle. Let my grandson live. Aeneas may be cast, just as you will, on unknown waves, and follow whatever pathway fortune finds for him. But let me shield Ascanius, and take him far from this dreadful war. I have high Paphos, Cythera, Amathus, Idalium's temple. Then let Ascanius live unhonored there, his weapons set aside. Have Carthage crush all of Ausonia in her hard grip. Ascanius will not stand in the way of Tyre. What use is it to have escaped the plague of war, to flee through Argive fires, to try out every risk of sea and vast lands, if the Trojans still are searching for their Latium, their newborn Pergamus. And would it not have been far better for them if they had settled on the final ashes of their homeland, on soil that once was Troy? I pray you, Father, to give back the Xanthus and Simois to these poor men. Let them live through the trials of Troy a second time. Then royal Juno, urged by bitter anger, why are you forcing me to break my deep silence, to publish my most secret grief? Did any god or man compel Aeneas to take the way of war, to let himself be used as enemy of King Latinus? The fates have led him into Italy. Oh yes, the prophecies of mad Cassandra. Did I press him to leave his camp, to trust his fortune to the winds, to place a child in charge of his defenses, or to tamper with Tuscan loyalties, the peace of nations? What god, what ruthless power of mine drove him to crime? Does Juno have to do with this, or Iris sent from clouds? You say it is disgraceful for Italians to surround the newborn Troy with torches, and for Turnus to take a stand upon his native ground. Turnus, who has his ancestor Polymnus, whose mother is Vanilia, the goddess. But what have you to say when Trojan force is used to fling black torches at the Latins, or crushes foreign fields beneath their yoke and carries off their plunder? When they pick at will whatever daughters they would wed, and snatch pledged brides away from proper lovers, or beg for peace but dress their ships in armor, you have the power to pluck Aeneas from the hands of the Achaeans, giving them the mist and empty winds instead of him, to change Troy's ships into as many nymphs. Then is it terrible if we in turn have given the Rutulians some help? Aeneas is away and does not know. Indeed, let him not know and be away. You say that Paphos, high Cythera, and Idalium are yours. Why meddle, then, with towns that teem with war and bitterness? For is it I who try to tear away your tottering Troy from its foundations, I? Or is it not that wanton one who laid the wretched Trojans open to the Greeks? Was it not he who caused both Europe and Asia to rise in arms, whose treachery first violated ties of peace? Did I lead on the Teucrian adulterer to plunder Sparta? Did I furnish him with weapons or use lust to foster war? That was the time to care about your friends. But now, too late, you rise with your complaints, unjustly casting pointless taunts at me.